Good morning or afternoon. I don't know when you're looking at this today. This is our math lesson today, and the objective of today's lesson is I can decompose quadrilaterals to understand perimeter as the boundary of a shape. So remember, we've already learned about area, and remember, area is the inside of the shape, and okay, right here. So area is the inside of a shape, and then perimeter is what we're going to learn about today. So perimeter is the main thing that I want you to learn today. So perimeter is the outside of the shape, or the boundary of a shape. The boundary is the outside edges, okay? So area, to find area, you do length times width, and perimeter is add up all sides. So if we were in our classroom, I would do this. Add up all sides. So you're going to add all the sides. Area, you do length times width. So that's the formula for finding area, and this is the formula for finding perimeter. Remember, perimeter is the outside of the shape, or perimeter is the boundary of a shape, the outside area of the shape. Okay, so today's application problem is Trista uses all 7 of her tangram pieces to make a square. One side of the large square is 4 inches long. What is the total area of the 2 large triangles? Explain your answer. Well, to do that, first let's start by finding the area of the whole square. So it's a square, so we know this one's 4 inches. So this side is also going to be 4 inches, right? And to find the area, we do 4 length times width. So it's going to be 4 times 4 is 16, right? Because 4 times 4 is 16. So the area of this shape is, so area equals 16. This is hard to write like this, isn't it? 16 square inches. And remember, we always have to label, don't we? Okay, but the question asks, what is the total area of the 2 large triangles? Well, here's the 2 large triangles. And you can see that the 2 large triangles take up 1/2 of the shape, right? So we know that that's going to be 1/2. So to divide that in half, we're going to just take 16 divided by 2, because it's in 2 pieces here, equals 8. So the area of these 2 is 8 square inches, right? So then it says to explain your answer. Well, we kind of just did as we were talking ourselves through it, because the total area of the 2 large triangles, to explain our answer, is we took the total area of the whole square and then divided it in half, because these two larger triangles are half of the shape, right? So then we just need to find out that we found out the total was 16 and half of the total is 8. So that's what the total area of the 2 large triangles are. Okay, and remember, I've got a note here that says to find area, length times width, the total area of this square is 4 times 4 equals 16. Area equals 16 square inches. And then to find half of it, we did that, right? Okay. So let's go to the next page. Okay, so we're going to look at these shapes here, and we're going to think about how we find perimeter, area and perimeter. I do hope you've watched that Math Antiques video on perimeter, so that's going to help you understand how to do perimeter. So up here I've done, let me move this, move me out of the way. Okay, so I've done, this shape up here is 3 by 5, and we can see that by the little squares, right? So the area is 3 times 5 equals, get a pen here, let's do it in red, equals going to do it in black. 15 square inches, right? So now the perimeter, to find the perimeter, remember we're going to add, my computer's all sides. Add up all sides. So it's going to be 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5, because we know this is going to be 5 because this is 5. We know this is going to be 3 because this is 3, and they're the same. So 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5 equals, well, 5 plus 3 is 8, and 8 plus 8 is 16. So when you're doing area and perimeter, the area and perimeter aren't always going to be the same answer. Sometimes they are, but not always. So, so remember, the area is the inside of the shape and the perimeter is the outside of the shape, okay? Okay, so let's look at this next one. So the area for this one, to find the area, would be 2 times 6 equals 12, right? So that would be the area of this shape here, okay? To find the area, or the perimeter, it doesn't matter what order you add up each side, all of these sides. But we know this one's going to be 6, and we know that this one's going to be 2 because they're the same as the ones that are opposite of them. So we can go ahead and do 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 6 plus 6 is 12. Well, 12 plus 4 is 16, right? So the perimeter of this shape is 16. Oh, that's interesting because the perimeter of this shape is 16 also. So look at that. They don't have to be the same to have the same answers. And area and perimeter are usually different. Not always, but sometimes. Okay, so this is a square. To find the area, we would do length times width, which would be 3 times 3. Which would equal 9, right? Because 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, and then to find the perimeter, we just add up all sides. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Well, 3 plus 3 is 6, and 6 plus 6 is 12. What's another way we could figure that instead of adding it? We've got 4 3s. Could we do that as a multiplication problem? Yes. We've got 4 times 3 equals 12. Okay? Okay, and the same with this one down here. This one would be 5 times 5 is 25 would be the area, but 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 would be what? 20. So perimeter on this one is going to equal 20 because we could do 4 times 5, couldn't we? Or we can do the, I don't have enough room to write here. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. And we know that that equals 20, right? Because 4 times 5 is 20, and 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 5 more is 15, plus 5 more is 20. So perimeter equals 20, right? Okay, so in this one, we're going to do area would be 4 plus, or we're going to do perimeter. 4 plus 6 plus 4 plus 6. Well, let's do that. 4 plus 6 plus 4 plus 6. And all right, very good, do I? Okay, so 4 plus 6 is 10. So this would be 10. And 4 plus 6 is 10 more. So 10 plus 10 is 20. So the perimeter for this shape equals 20. And the area for this shape would be length 4 times 6. And 4 times 6 is what? 24. So the area would be 24 for this shape, and the perimeter is 20 for this shape. I hope that makes sense to you. I hope you watched that Math Antics video about perimeter and finding perimeter, because it explains it a little bit deeper. And I hope this makes sense to you, that to find perimeter, all we're doing is add up all sides. We're adding up all the sides to find perimeter. Perimeter is the boundary of a shape, the outside boundary of a shape. Okay, this is what your homework is going to look like today. So it says you're going to trace the perimeter of the shapes below. So all you're going to do is just take a colored pencil or a colored whatever on your iPad, and you're going to trace around all of the perimeter on each of these shapes. Okay? And then the second one says, explain how you know you trace the perimeter of the shapes above. Well, how do you know you trace the perimeter? What is perimeter? That's all you have to do to answer that question, is tell me, what is perimeter? Perimeter is the outside of the shape, right? You add up all sides. Perimeter is the boundary of the shape. Okay, and then this one is a lot like the problem that we had yesterday. It says draw a rectangle on the grid. So we're going to draw a rectangle here. We're going to trace the perimeter of the rectangle and then shade the area of the rectangle. What is the area? The area is the inside of the shape, right? And what is, you're going to trace the perimeter. What is the perimeter? The perimeter is the outside of the shape. Okay, now it wants to know, how is the perimeter of the rectangle different from the area of the rectangle? Well, here's some notes to help you. It says, remember, area is the inside of the shape and perimeter is the outside of the shape. Remember, to find area, it is length times width, and to find perimeter, you add up all sides. Okay, and then number 3, it says, Maya draws the shape shown below. Noah colors the middle of Maya's shape as shown. Noah says he colored the perimeter of Maya's shape. Maya says that Noah colored the area of her shape. Who is right? And explain how you know. So this should be pretty easy, especially if you've watched that video, the Math Antics video. So I hope you enjoyed today's math lesson, and I can't wait to see your work.